When I was in 7th grade, I met this girl in my bus and her name was Lexi. Well, me and Lexi got really close. My middle school was divided into 3 different schools, so me and Lexi went to the same school but a different section of our school, and we also took the same bus. Anyways, one day when I was walking to class through one of the schools, I saw this cute-ass guy, and I asked her about him cause she went to school with him, and she told me that it was one of her friends. And that if I wanted her to mention me to him, well, of course I want you to mention me to him, bitch, I think he's cute. Well, he sent me a little note telling me I was cute or whatever, and then we kept sending notes to each other. But one day as I was walking through one of the schools to get to my class, I saw him with a group of friends and they all started laughing at me. I got really embarrassed and didn't know what was happening, so I went to see Lexi to ask her why he was laughing at me.
One time at lunch, my best friend wanted to make out with a boy in the bathroom and asked me to take the second girl's pass so that nobody could come to the bathrooms, and the boy's friend did the same. Then we all went to the bathroom and my friend went into the boy's bathroom, so I left her there and she said she would be back in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I went back to the bathroom and she was still in there, so I thought she was going to get raped, so I burst in and saw my friend crying. I grabbed her arm and tried to drag her out, but then a teacher came in and detained us all as if it was a motherfucking crime scene. They told us to give them our phones and I got to go to the office, and the teacher questioned me like it was a Q&A, like, bitch, fuck off. Then she let me go and back to class and I started having a panic attack.
Back then I used to be very nice, and I would always add people back on Snapchat until one time out of nowhere I received a snap from Bob John. Let's just say he was old. SMH. Bob John decided to ask my 7-year-old self for a picture of my tits. I obviously had none because I was young. To be honest, I had no idea what tits were back then, so I got up and asked my older sister what the heck tits were. She pointed to her chest, still leaving me in confusion. I asked again and she described them as balls on your chest. So my dumb self went to go grab 2 balls from my ball pit and put them in my shirt and snapped him back. I know you're probably wondering why the fuck a 7-year-old had Snapchat, and let me tell ya, it wasn't my Snapchat, it was my mom's. Haha. He snapped back asking if I wanted to see something I could suck on. I obviously said sure, but before you get mad at my past young self for saying sure, I thought he was talking about a sucker. Moving on. Bob John sent me some weird hairy thing with 2 sagging looking almost circle-shaped balls by it. I looked deep into its soul wondering what the fuck it was. Suddenly my dad walked in with a bowl of pineapple and watermelon with Tajin. I set my mom's phone down and looked up smiling, reaching for my fruit bowl. He looked at the phone and saw the picture. He said a bunch of swear words in Spanish and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I said I'm snapping back with Bob John. He looked at me as if I did something wrong. He then asked who the fuck.
When I was in 7th grade I got into an argument with my teacher and everyone thought I was big and bad, and so did I. A few days later this new girl transferred to our school and we had 3 classes together, and she accidentally stepped on my shoe, so I would always make faces at her and stare her down every time I seen her. She ignored me until one day I told a rumor that her cooter smelled like old milk, and she told everyone she was going to fight me, and I thought she was just talking until she walked up to me while I was waiting for my ride outside and asked did I want to fight. I didn't want to seem like a punk bitch, so I said yeah. Next thing I know she punched me straight in my face, and before I can even swing back she started rocking my shit. All I knew how to do was pull hair. I only got 2 hits in this strong as bitch Mortal Kombat my shit. Some teacher broke us up and after that I was like, you want some more? And I was praying she didn't say yes cause I couldn't take any more. If this blows up I'll send you the video so you can post it.
One day I was in about 4th or 3rd grade and my mom let me stay at my childhood friend's house, and she had 2 brothers. So she had fell asleep and I wasn't tired, and so I tried to fall asleep. Then her oldest brother came and he was in high school. I pretend to be asleep. I found it weird that he came in there. Then he started walking towards me and he whispers and asks if I'm awake, and I don't say anything because I'm creeped out and just want him to leave. So then I turn my back against him to try and scare him away, and he lifts my hair up on my pillow and starts kissing on my neck. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know what to do and I really wanted her to wake up, but she was a heavy sleeper and everyone else in the house was asleep. Then I'm like, okay, this is weird, so I fake woke up and he looks at me in the weirdest smile and tells me I'm beautiful. I tell him please leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep, so he left the room and I wanted to cry because that was so weird. This is not the first time he's done some weird shit like that.
Okay, so a couple years back my teenage sister was pregnant. Nobody knew at the time, not even her. And so one day I was in my room just hanging out, and I heard a really loud scream coming from my sister's room. Naturally me and my family went upstairs to go check on her to make sure she's okay, and me and my mom walked into my sister's room. and there was blood all over her sheets. And my sister had. I wanna keep it family friendly, so let's just say toy. Anyway, there was a bloody toy in her hand and she kept screaming. Like it was a lot of blood. My mom took her to the hospital cause she didn't know what else to do. And it turns out she accidentally gave herself an abortion with a toy. Hey guys, story time. When I was in kindergarten, I was on the bus sitting next to this mean ass bitch. I don't remember her name. There was a girl behind us and she kept saying her stomach hurted and that she needed to poop. So me and the girl I was sitting next to, we straight ignored that bitch. So time flew by on the bus, and then I start smelling shit, like literally disgusting, smelling like dog shit ass poop. So I look under the seat and I see this big ass pile of diarrhea poop. That shit stunk. I couldn't help myself and I kept looking under the seat to look at the poop. The girl next to me kept telling me to stop looking at it. Like, bitch, if you don't shut yo skin tone chicken bone Google Chrome no home flip phone disowned ice cream cone garden gnome extra chromosome metronome dimidome genome full blown monochrome student loan Indiana Jones overgrown Flintstone X and Y hormone friend zone Sylvester Stallone Sierra Leone AutoZone professionally seen silver patron head ass the fuck up, I'll beat your ass. Eventually someone came on the bus and picked up the poop. This one time when I was little I thought I could talk to trees. Because I had no friends. And I used to sit by them and say things, and one day I was talking to my tree friend called Kevin, and this girl went up to me and said, "Are you talking to that tree, freak?" And I started crying and hugged onto the tree. And while she was laughing, one of the branches fell on the girl's head. Thanks, Kevin. One time my boyfriend came over and we decided to do the dirty. Anyways, it was great, but his phone was in his pocket when he did it and he accidentally somehow but dialed 911. We were getting down and dirty and everything was going swell until we heard knocks on the door very aggressively. We thought it was the dog making noise outside the door until we heard a man yelling to open the door. We both got dressed really fast, went outside, and saw it was the police. I was scared because I thought they found out that I stole a bathing suit from Target, so I started sobbing. Then they asked what was wrong and I couldn't stop crying, so my boyfriend asked why they were here, and they explained they got a 911 call and heard yelling on the phone. I immediately stopped crying and ran inside the house of embarrassment, and my boyfriend just said everything was fine, then closed the door. Right after he closed the door, he heard laughing from the police, and now we know that they found out we were having sex.
So when I was little, my mom took me and my brother to the local pool. I was 12, he was 4. So while my mom and I sunbathed, he played in the kiddie pool. When all of a sudden he comes up to us and says, "Mommy, I gotta go pee-pee." And instead of taking him to the bathroom, my mom said, "Go pee-pee in the pool." Shame on you, Carolyn. We continued to lay out in the sun until all of a sudden we hear everyone scream, "Oh my God, some kid's peeing in the kiddie pool." Torian didn't understand, and he went over to the kiddie pool, pulled down his pants, and pee-peed like he was peeing in the toilet. But my mom is clever, and she pretended like she didn't know whose kid it was, and we never went back to that pool again.
In 10th grade during lunch, the mean popular girl started to walk up to me and my friends and grabbed my muffin and threw it in my face to impress the new kid. I went off on that dumb bitch because I wanted to eat the motherfucking muffin. I dragged that bitch across the lunchroom and we fought and I accidentally broke her nose. Haha, dumb bitch, that's what you get for wasting my fucking muffin. And I dated the new kid, so who's the bad bitch now? Brittany. Period. Sis, go off. Since you whores loved my last story, here's another one about me and my wonderful brother. I'm not going to say his name because Mateo doesn't like me exposing him. Anyway, when we first moved to our new house, my brother's girlfriend would always come over, which I found hella sus because when we lived in our trailer home she'd never come over. I started noticing things went missing around the house, so I told my brother. He didn't believe me, but he's the only friend I have, so I was determined to catch that ugly, ungrateful, cocksucking, slutty troll. I put cameras in the hallway and caught her stealing some earrings I planted. I showed my brother the video and we decided to get revenge. I invited her over saying my brother had a surprise for her. She believed it. Hehe. Fucking idiot. Anyways, we made a slideshow of all the times she stole something and snatched those gold earrings from her purse. We changed our gate code and never saw her again. Once my teacher was pregnant and 2 months before her due date she went into labor in the middle of class, so we were all rushed into the hallway, but they couldn't get her out of the classroom, so she ended up having her baby in the classroom, but since it was premature it was weak and they weren't at a hospital, so it died in the classroom, and we all saw the dead tiny baby being carried out of the classroom, and my teacher was so sad her baby died that she quit her job, and a month later we went into lockdown because turns out she broke into the school with a knife and tried stabbing people cause she sorta went insane with the grief of her baby dying, and now she's in jail. Girl, what in the shitty tit flip switch? One day my older sister was crying very loud in her room and I was concerned. I walked in and asked her what was wrong. She had just received news that her boyfriend cheated on her while he was out of town. So being the good little sister I am, I wanted revenge on her cheating ass now ex-boyfriend. We had a plan to sneak into his house and replace his shampoo with Nair hair removal cream. It was risky, but we were willing to do anything for revenge. We called his mom and told him he cheated on her, and she was disappointed in him. We told her we wanted revenge and the mom was all for it. My older sister drove me to his house when he was gone and his mom was there. She let us in the house and we dumped out his shampoo and conditioner bottles and replaced both bottles with the hair removal cream and left. Later that night his mom sent us a video of my sister's ex-boyfriend running out of the bathroom screaming and crying naked because all his hair had fallen out after his shower and his head was burning, and my sister and I laughed our asses off, and I laughed so hard I peed my fucking pants. Never mess with our family, period. Haha hash sahaha fuck you Dylan. So y'all remember how PE teachers used to make you run the mile in elementary school? Well boy do I have a fucking story for you. So I was out on the field running my second lap and my stomach started hurting because my fucking mom decided to buy McDonald's for breakfast. So I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom and that bitch ass Trump gorilla looking motherfucker said no, so I just kept running and prayed to Michael Jackson that it would go away. So I'm on my third lap and I have to fart. And on God I pulled a Nessa Barrett. So much shit came out that I could literally make a 4-course meal with it. And a chocolate fountain for dessert. I was about to fucking cry. Obviously I wasn't gonna tell my teacher that I shit myself, so I just said I felt like I was gonna throw up. So I go to the clinic literally holding my hands on my ass so nobody would see my shit. When I get to the clinic the nurse tells me to sit down, but in my head I'm like, bitch, if I sit down your chair is gonna look like the chocolate river from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I just lean on the wall until my mom comes to pick me up. When I stand up off the wall to go to the bathroom my shit is smeared on the wall and the nurse looks at it and she's like, what the fuck? Was that you? And I was like, ew, hell no, and I run to the bathroom and my whole ass had shit on it, and when my mom picked me up I started crying because she asked what smelled like dog shit and she thought she stepped in something and I had to tell her it was my ass.